You know what? I really think Devin Booker could be the next Kobe, man. I mean, looking at his game, bruh, it basically screams young Kobe. Nah, fam, you tripping. Obviously, you ain't never seen that man Andrew Wiggins play. I mean, he already got that Kobe post game on lock, you feel me, Nah, both y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I mean, both those players are nice and all, but y'all be sleeping on my boy Zach LaVine. He got that Kobe athleticism, you know, he can just put some finesse on it, you know what I mean? He put some finesse on it. But I tell y'all this one good time, they ain't about to be another Kobe, so y'all can just chill on all that, hush that noise.
You know, I caught myself tripping last night. It was almost 10 at night and I was sitting there watching the Wolves vs Suns game. You know, just admiring all the young talent that I was seeing in that game. I mean, you got Zach LaVine, Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, Alex Len. I mean, come on, bro. You don't get much more young talent on the court at the same time than that. Anyways, I was sitting there and I was like, dang. Which one of these players about to be the next Kobe? Referring to, you know, LaVine, Booker, and Wiggins, of course. I mean, in the short time these guys have been in the league, they've each already drawn up Kobe comparisons. And so I switched tabs and was literally starting to gather some facts on which one of them was about to be the next Kobe. You know, I started scripting my video called Which One of Them Is About to Be the Next Kobe. And as I was doing my research, I was like, what are you doing, bruh? Come on, don't do this. Comparing players to other players, more specifically comparing young players to NBA legends? I mean, it has its uses, but at the same time, I don't quite agree with it. During the time of the NBA draft, you'll hear a lot of young prospects draw up comparisons to present or former NBA players. Now, there's nothing wrong with this at all. For example, a couple of years ago, Porzingis was drawing comparisons to Dirk Nowitzki before he was even drafted. I mean, this is the type of thing that basically happens to every NBA draft prospect. It's a way for analysts, or really anyone talking about the draft for that matter, to try and explain to someone who may not know too much about college players what skill set a certain player has. And there's nothing wrong with this type of comparison at all. But then the dynamic of the comparison completely changes when we're talking about a player actually becoming the next Dirk, or the next LeBron, or, you know, the next Kwame. For example, let's go back to LaVine, Booker, Wiggins, Kobe comparisons. These are three young players, all with tremendous upside. There's no question about that. I mean, when talking about the future stars of the NBA, you are almost certain to hear at least one, if not all of these players mentioned. Taking a look at their numbers so far this season, they're all averaging around 20 points per game. And yes, I will admit that all of them do have certain Kobe-esque features, alright? But that doesn't mean any of them will become the next Kobe. Zach LaVine's finna be the first Zach LaVine. Andrew Wiggins is finna be the first Andrew Wiggins. Devin Booker is finna be the first Devin Booker. Like, do you understand the amount of pressure that you are placing on such young players? Look, LaVine, Wiggins are only 21 years old. Booker is 20. And you're already talking about these players becoming the next Kobe. The next Kobe. You know, Kobe, the 5-time NBA champion, the 2 times final MVP, the 17 times NBA All-Star. This is the guy that went out and scored 50 points on 4 straight games back in 07. And that's just to name a few of his numerous accolades, man. And that's the guy you're comparing these players who are still on their rookie contracts to. Now, I'm not saying that it's outrageous to put anyone on the same level as Kobe or anything like that. For all we know, any one of these guys can go on to have just as good or maybe even a better legacy than Kobe when their career is all said and done. You know, but until then, I just don't think it's fair to these young players to expect any one of them to go out there and be the next this guy or the next that guy. See, I'm all about players defining who they are, leaving behind their own legacies, which is kind of hard to do when at such a young age you're being placed into the shadow of an NBA legend. An example of this was when Damian Lillard was compared to Stephen Curry last year. Look, while Lillard isn't nearly as young as LaVine, Wiggins, or Booker, there were still people saying that he was the next Stephen Curry and stuff like that. And after he scorched the Warriors for 51 points and led the Blazers to an upset win, the reporters started to ask about these comparisons, and he gave probably the realest response you will ever hear. I'm my own man. I was being Damian Lillard. You know, that is the realest thing you will hear today. I can guarantee you that. So yes, while comparing players does have its uses, like explaining to someone the skill set of a certain player by using a more well-known player as an example, it can also be kind of detrimental to the players. I know it can be exciting to think of a young player becoming the next Wilt or Magic or any other great former or even present NBA player for that matter. It simply isn't fair to expect them to become someone they aren't. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below. Do you think it's fair to say this person is going to be the next Kobe, or that person's going to be the next LeBron, or that person's going to be the next MJ, you know, anything like that? Like I said, I'm all about the people defining who they are over their own course of their career, not being placed into the shadows of someone else. So let me know what you guys think about that down in the comment section below. But you know, if Kobe was like Andrew Wiggins' father or some type of distant relative even, he would be proud of Andrew Wiggins, especially after last night. Andrew Wiggins scored 31 points on 50% shooting from the field, including a buzzer beater to give the Minnesota Timberwolves a 112-111 win over the Phoenix Suns. He is the youngest player in the NBA at only 21 years old to hit a buzzer beater so far this season. Not in NBA history, of course, but you know, just this season. So you know, it was a battle between him and Devin Booker last night, and he got the best of Devin Booker. Devin Booker did score 26 points, but he was only 9 of 23 from the field. Not the best shooting night from Devin Booker, but at the same time, these are two great young players, and I can't wait to see what they become. Blake Griffin made a comeback yesterday, and so did the Philadelphia 76ers. The Clippers had a 19-point lead at one time over the Sixers, over the Joel Embiid-less Sixers, and they blew the lead and wound up losing 121-110. The Philadelphia 76ers have been one of the best teams in the NBA this month. I think they're what now, like 9-3 on the month or something like that. So you know, they've been doing this to quite a few teams, not the comeback part, but you know, the winning part. 19 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks for Nerlens Noel. A great performance from Nerlens Noel. I think this is what you could expect from him if he were to get onto a team where they could actually use him. You know, the Philadelphia 76ers can't really use him since they have Joel Embiid. Still no Kawhi Leonard for the San Antonio Spurs as he's out due to injury precaution. He's not quite injured, but they're just, you know, keeping an eye on something. But they got the narrow win over the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors once again come up short of an elite team. This has been the story for the Toronto Raptors for the past 2 years. They've been a really good team, but when it comes to playing against like the Spurs, the Warriors, or the Cavs, they come up short. 108-106 was the final score. LaMarcus Aldridge 21 points and 7 rebounds, and Patty Mills had another great game off the bench. A sleeper for the 6th Man of the Year award, 18 points and 3 steals for Mills. However, for the Raptors, they were down a guy too. DeMar DeRozan was out with a sprained ankle. Kyle Lowry finished with a game-high 30 points, and Norman Powell did chip in. He had 16 points, filling in for DeMar DeRozan. The Washington Wizards have been a really good team as of late. You know, they're 25-20 on the year, much better than the awful start they got off to. They got the win over the Boston Celtics last night, 123-108. John Wall and Bradley Beal have just been tearing it up, and it is surprising that the Wizards are getting their wins considering how lackluster, to put it lightly, their bench is. 27 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals for John Wall, 31 points and 5 assists for Bradley Beal, and Isaiah Thomas at 25 points and 13 assists for the Boston Celtics. The Bulls are back at 500 with a 100-92 win over the Atlanta Magic. I know that they're trying to trade Rajon Rondo and Nikola Amir to try and shake things up to help their playoff run, but who knows how much they'll be able to get for those two players. I know they don't have too much stock at this point in time. Jimmy Butler did his usual thing, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. One of the best all-around players in the NBA at the moment. 21 points for Dwayne Wade, and he tied the NBA record this season for steals. He had 7 steals on the night, and if I'm not mistaken, the other person to get 7 steals was John Wall. Finally, the Denver Nuggets hand the Utah Jazz their 2nd straight loss in a row. Thanks again to Nikola Jokic, 23 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 blocks. I'm telling you, this guy has been absolutely amazing so far this season. It's crazy to think that this is only his 2nd year playing in the NBA. He's already going out there and looking like a seasoned veteran. But that about wraps up all the action for the Day 92 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season. And now it's time to get into the Player of the Day. Yesterday, you guys selected the GOAT himself, Dion Waiters, as your NBA Player of the Day with his 33 points and the game winner over the Golden State Warriors. And now it's time to get into today's candidates. Nikola Jokic, 23 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 blocks. Andrew Wiggins, 31 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. John Wall, 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Or Nerlens Noel in his 19 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. There are your nominees for today. You guys can go vote for who you want to win on the Amino Hardwood NBA app. The link to the poll will be in the description as well as in the comment section below. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like on the video if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for more daily NBA videos. And you guys already know that I'll be right back here tomorrow with some more NBA fire. So until then, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!